Hey guys, welcome to another Let's Talk. My name is Jason Foster. I'm also known as the JL Punk and Verdum the Immortal Gay Man here on YouTube. And kind of like I said before, these whole Fest Talk videos is a lot more personal kind of blogs where I just talk about anything I want, and pretty much I get you guys to get to know me better. So, and for this last talk, I'm going to talk about having a best friend. You see, like, when somebody grows up in their life, they always have friends. Like, they always have a whole bunch of friends. Like, some people are more fortunate than others. Like, others will maybe only have 2 friends when they're growing up, or maybe even 1. For me personally, I never really had that many friends. I probably said that in 2 other of my videos, but with me growing up, I never had much friends. I was more of a loner. I was mostly on my own a lot. But I have this one friend. He's my best friend. And he's been my best friend since grade 1. And yes, it's the guy who has appeared in two of my recent wrestling reviews, and the guy who I did a few vlogs with, Brett. Brett, he's my best friend since grade 1. He's probably going to be my best friend until we're both old. But, like, I know in my videos he seems to be like a jerk. I know, like, people are like, oh my god, look at him, he's such a jerk. But what people don't understand, that's the kind of person he is. Like, yeah, he is a jerk, but he's my best friend. And I know that I'm his best friend too. And, basically, like, without having a best friend, and in my case, without having Brett, I would say my life would have actually sucked. It would have. Like, I'm not saying, like, he's really comforting, but, like, you have that one friend, and in this case, it's my friend Brett. You have this one friend that, you have all these problems going on in your life, you're all stressed out. There's that one person you can go to, and you can just joke around. You can just sit back, relax, joke around, have some fun, and that's Brett. And, in my view, if you pretty much, like, you need a best friend. No matter who you are, you need a best friend. Even if you're frickin' Adolf Hitler, you really do need a best friend. And, and for me, like, with Brett, okay, like, to give you guys some history, I met Brett when I was in grade 1. Well, me and him we're both in grade 1. And, he was very, I guess he was a lot more talkative than, like, back then than I was. And for some reason, like, when we first met, he knew me first. Like, I still remember the day where, when I first met Brett, I was in this class, and my teacher was his newbie. And Brett, like, I was taking off my jacket, I was putting my bat back up, and next thing you know, I see Brett coming. He's like, hey Jason, keeps on walking. First time I ever met him. And like, from that day on, he has been my best friend. Like, he's always had my back, always had his back. He knew how to get me out of trouble, and mostly because of the social disorder I have, he's the one who always knows how to, like, tell me when enough is enough. He knows when to tell me that I'm insulting somebody, because I don't know when I am insulting somebody. I just don't know. And, he's kind of a big brother to me. Even though, like, people who don't know this, I'm actually a full year older than Brett. Full year older than Brett. But even though he's younger, he still kind of took up a big brother role in my life. And really, I do consider Brett not only my best friend, but he's my brother. And he just like, he's that kind of person where you just know that he's always going to have your back, no matter what. And for me personally, like, yeah, I have my older brother Justin, but ever since Justin has moved out, I've kind of gravitated more to Brett because I think this also really made a hand in our friendship. Is Brett only lives 2 minutes away from me. He's basically is my neighbor. He just lives up the hill from me. And, it's just kind of like where we don't even need to tell each other, are you busy? We just send a text to each other saying, hey, come outside. And there you go, we're just going to hang out, like, for example, a couple of days ago, he sent me a text saying, like, Jason, go outside in your driveway now. I go outside, and there he is in his car. And, a lot of things like it shows in the videos I should do with Brett, we insult each other all the time. Like, we insult each other constantly. But it's kind of our way of having fun. We always insult each other. We always call each other names. And like, he calls me a retard, I call him a dumbass. Or else, he calls me a faggot. And I don't know what I would call him. I don't know what I would call him, really. But, he also calls me bitch a lot, but whatever. But the thing is, though, like, with me and Brett, we can say each other, we can call each other names, we can swear at each other. But when somebody does that to me, Brett does not stand for that. And, like, he actually gets mad. And, to me, that means a lot. And I'm the same thing, if somebody insulted Brett, I would be mad, I'll be like, hey, shut the fuck up, that's my friend you're talking about. And, it just seems like, no matter what would happen to me, I always feel that I can go to Brett. And, like, he's that, you hear that old cliche, the person who never left your side. And that's Brett. Like, even though in grade 7, he transferred schools, which was actually really hard on me because after he transferred schools, I was all by myself. And, Brett, he's a lot more better at making friends than I am. So when he transferred schools, I actually felt I was all alone. And that was a really hard time for me because, I pretty much lost my best friend. And I pretty much lost my brother. But every time I came home and I would go to his place, everything was fine. But it was just that time where he transferred schools. It was really hard on me. I don't know if it was that hard on him, but it was really hard on me because I don't think he realizes that I do view him as a high standard, like, I do see him as my best friend. I see him as the person who can really distract me from anything. And I see him as the person who can really, like, just, doesn't matter what's going on in my life, I can always go to Brett and we can just have fun. And sometimes you just need that person. You need that person in your life who you can just, forget all your problems and just have fun. And with Brett, that's what I'm able to do. I'm able to just forget everything, have some fun, and, just have a great time. And one thing that's also really awesome about Brett is a lot of times when my parents will leave, like, a lot of times if my parents will leave to go on a trip and I don't go with them, If Brett's not busy, he'll come straight to my house at 7 o'clock in the morning. And that's saying something. Like, even like if we're hanging out, we don't have anything to do, I would even get out of bed and get out of bed and go to his house at 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, doesn't matter what time of day it is. If we're not doing anything and we're bored, just like, hey, you want to hang out? Yeah, sure. And like, he teaches me a lot. Like, he teaches me how to even though I am older, Brett is the one who teaches me, like, maybe he probably kind of taught me how to cook some things, you know? Sometimes I wasn't really paying attention, but, you know, he taught me how, like, you know, he shows me how to do, like, a lot of my driving skills. You know, I still don't have my license, while Brett does. But, a lot of driving, like, Brett has taught me a lot. Like, you know, a lot of things come from my mom. Brett has taught me a lot of things. He taught me a lot of things about the world. He taught me a lot of things about people. And I know for a fact that if I had one friend that's not going to leave me, like never going to abandon me, that's Brett. And I do view him as my brother. Like, I know this is going to sound really homo, really gay, really homo, but I could not imagine my life without my best friend Brett, because he has actually made my life better. Like, he has made me feel better. He has made me just, like, one thing that Brett always never fails to do is make me laugh. And that's the same thing with me. I never fail to make him laugh either. You know, in our videos, I would say something stupid, and he would just be like, what the fuck? Like that. But, I would say things to him, and he would just burst out laughing. And that's one thing I really like, because not a lot of people get my humor. You know, apparently, like, the only person who really gets my humor is Brett. And, I really like it. Like, it just seems like if I can go to anybody, like, say if I got kicked out of my house, I know the first person I would go to is Brett. Like, if my car broke down, if frickin', like, I got bombed, I don't know why, but apparently I'll get bombed. But if I got bombed, you know, I'll most likely call Brett, be like, hey, Brett, I need help, you know. So, that's my best friend, Brett. Like, in my view, nobody can go on in life without having a best friend. And for me personally, at this very moment, I really don't think I have any other friends except for Brett and my girlfriend Taylor. And for my next Let's Talk, I'm going to talk about Taylor. But, I'm just saying, like, you can never go through life without a best friend. You need a best friend. No matter, like, how many friends you have. It doesn't matter how many. But if you just have one friend, just one, that's your best friend, that's your confidant, and has always been your best friend, is always there for you, then you have a great life. Because in my view, you can't have a great life without having that person. So, it's only 14 minutes. So, there's not really much I can say. Is, you know, you have a best friend. You, you know, there's really not much I can say about it. You need a best friend. Fortunately, I have a best friend. His name is Brett. And, he's always going to be my best friend. And I hope I'm always going to be his. So, that's it for this Let's Talk. And I will see you guys in the next one where I talk about my girlfriend. Bye, guys.